What is up? Welcome back. It's a beautiful day here in New Zealand. We're going to be doing a part 2 section of the rear setup that I've got in this car. In the last video you saw that I had welded in some adjustment plates to get some toe and camber dialed in. What I'm going to be doing today is showing you kind of the effects that I had on the setup, driving wise, tire wear wise, which is really important for grassroots drifting. You want to make sure that your tires don't kind of just wear out on the one spot. You want them to kind of wear out evenly throughout the tire, the width of the tire. Today what I'm going to be doing is just showing you a few clips of the differences in handling, my thoughts and how it affected the dynamics of the car, and just showing you the difference in tire wear as well. It changed for the better. It changed the dynamics quite a lot, and we'll just be going through that in this video. What I'm going to be doing first is I'll get some tires and I'll show you the difference, my old setup and the new setup. So this here is the tire from one of my previous drift days. We had about 3.5 or 4 degrees of camber, probably about, I don't know, a shit ton of toe out. This is the effects of it. Now this side here is pretty much brand new, like untouched, but as you can see this side is completely gone. So that's not good because you're getting about half the tire life out of it and half the grip. Now your grip should be dictated by your suspension setup and not solely by your tires. You know, that depends on your preferences and stuff. Whereas this here is set up currently and it's worn all the way across. Now it's not worn all the way across evenly, but this side does not look brand new compared to the other side. This is basically just because of the track that I was running, and I probably should have dialed in a little bit more camber on this tire just to stop it from rolling over in that turn 1 and last corner at Evergreen. This setup we're running about 2 mil toe in, and this setup we're running about 3 mil toe out. Not because I wanted to, but because I didn't have a choice with how low I wanted my car and how the E30 rear end didn't like being that low. So that's after and that's before. Look at that, brand new on this side. Not ideal. Ideal. Very much ideal. So the main key differences between the before and after was the toe, the camber, and the sway bar, and that had a real big impact on the way the car handled and just the feedback I was getting when I put inputs through the steering wheel or the throttle. I made it really easy to drive. The after made it really easy to drive. Before, with the old setup, I could throw it kind of as hard as I could and as fast as I could, and it wouldn't over rotate, or would very rarely over rotate, but at the same time trying to carry the same angle through the corner, that actually brought on a lot of understeer, and I think that was basically because the rear end was gripped up so much, and it basically, when you didn't have that momentum at full speed going in, and you would throw it in and you'd grip up and it would bring the back around, and I'd have to kind of wait for it to slide back out. That just made it a bit frustrating because it didn't look as smooth from outside, and it wasn't really what I was going for. Like, the big entries is what I like, but also making it clean and tidy through the mid and exit of the corner, that's also a big part of it. So at Taupo with the new setup, I could throw it in real hard, but it would over rotate, but it was almost like I had more feedback, more confidence. It was a bit more predictable the way it was handling, and sort of the places that I was putting the car every time. seem to be kind of similar, not always the same, no professional at all. But also a big thing was the mid and exit of the corner. It really kind of inspired confidence because I could still be holding the same amount of angle or dialed back just a tiny bit and sort of carry it out really nice and tidy on the exit. And I really think that is due to how much grip we were running in the back. Now the front end is still exactly the same toe settings, the same. No, actually we're running a bit more camber up front. We're running also a bit more caster up front. So we'll cover the front end in a later video. Driving it in a small technical track like Evergreen. We went there for Drift Academy end of year sort of party thing. Sky put on a good day for us, and it felt really stable. I could kind of throw it in, get it to a good point, hold it at that point the whole way around the corner. It looked real smooth from the outside. If I wanted to get more aggressive, I could. Obviously the tyre wear was really nice. I could go out there, smash it, and come back, check the tyres, and they were just nice, level, even sort of thing. The one thing you couldn't get even was the right to left bias of tyre wear. There's a lot of left hand corners at Evergreen, so your right rear tyre will wear out more than your left rear, and that's just how it goes with those sort of tracks. You can maybe put a little bit less throttle into those big corners, going and coming out, but if you want to have fun, you just send it and deal with the tyre wear later. Grip wise, it has a little bit more grip. I can definitely tell more grip coming out of corners because I'd have to give it a little kick coming out, whereas before I could just kind of modulate the throttle. Now I think that's due to more contact patch on the road, and also the towing in rather than towing out also gives you a bit more grip coming out of a corner, especially when the back's squatting down with a soft suspension like mine. Going into the corner, there's less side bite when you're throwing it in, so that was pretty much the only way I think I could get those big entries at Taupo, was because I stiffened up the rear sway bar. It's on max stiff, and what I think that does is it just doesn't allow the body to roll onto that leading wheel, and you can just slide the car sideways a bit longer. So I could initiate earlier, try and build up a bit more speed earlier, might need a little bit more of a run-up, or just, you know, commit a bit more. But yeah, I could slide it a bit more without the handbrake, most importantly, and I think that really made me feel good about, you know, big initiations and stuff like that. And it just, yeah, it was just a good feeling. Hopefully a lot of you guys out there can take something away from this video and learn a little bit about the effects little changes and tweaks have on your rear suspension when drifting. It was definitely a big learning curve for me, just knowing just the different sort of alignment specs and stuff like that did what to the car, like side bite, forward bite, all those sort of things that I didn't really understand before. I kind of had an idea, but putting that into sort of a practical environment definitely helped me a bit more, and it gave me a lot more confidence driving this car, and it made it just really fun to drive, being a little bit more consistent. So hopefully you guys can take away something from that, and in a later video what I'll try and do is I'll try to cover the front setup and the effects that little changes and tweaks had on the car. So yeah, hopefully you guys will stick around for that one. Like and subscribe if you guys learned something today. Leave a comment below. What was the best thing that you learned from this video? I don't know, something like that. And yeah, I'll see you at the next one.